behind you!
Hey, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be going into everything there is to know about ADRIA, the ORICI from Stargate. But before we begin, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member to further support the channel. Otherwise, let's jump straight into it. So ADRIA is the daughter of Vala Maldoran and of the Ori. For a year, ADRIA led the Ori into battle in the hopes of converting the citizens of the Milky Way galaxy into worshipping the Ori, with her many efforts succeeding and failing thanks in part to SG1, who launched a battle to stop her and eliminate the Ori threat too. Her regime finally came to an end in 2007, when her powers and abilities were left severely weakened thanks to the ancient Morgan Le Fay. So while Vala Maldoran was in the Ori home galaxy, the Ori impregnated her and manipulated the fetus at a genetic level so that the child would have ascended knowledge. The Ori aren't able to use their powers to control mortals because the ancients would intervene. But the Ori needed a leader with power, one capable of leading their armies, so ADRIA was created. After her birth, she was genetically altered to grow to adulthood at an increased acceleration, and was an adult within a matter of days. At first, she was simply called ORICI, though Vala named her ADRIA after her stepmother. ADRIA is a devout follower of the Ori, saying that it is the ancients who suck human life forces to gain power, not the Ori, leading Vala to conclude that ADRIA was complicit in their deceptions. Dr. Jackson and Vala tried to kidnap her, but Toman, her stepfather, intervened. Daniel and Vala were nearly killed in the attempt, but were rescued by the Odyssey, which had just arrived in orbit. After the Free Jaffa Nation attempted to destroy the crew of an Ori warship with the Dakara superweapon, ADRIA alone survived, due to the personal shield she possessed. She boarded the ship and took it to hyperspace. She captured Dr. Jackson and Vala Maldoran after she killed the Jaffa that were holding them. She then revived one of the Jaffa to interrogate him, and told her that the weapon had killed her followers and it was on Dakara. Upon reaching Dakara, she destroyed the weapon, but SG1 was beamed off the ship by the Odyssey. After having discovered the location of the Sangral, she implanted a dream into Vala Maldoran to get SG1 to come to Osric's planet. Once they arrived, she impersonated Osric and offered to help lead them to the Sangral. When they came upon one of Morgan's puzzles that trapped the System Lord Ball and had to leave her ring in a treasure box, Dr. Jackson noticed the ring was of Ori design. Once at the caverns, SG1 confronted her and she revealed herself. She then threatened to kill Lieutenant Colonel Samantha Carter if they did not help her get the Sangral, since she was unable to do so, as the cave held a device which neutralizes her abilities. She helped them get past the rest of the puzzles and reach the Sangral, but the Sangral was a hologram, which also caused the awakening of a dragon. ADRIA realized that the dragon was the final test, and Jackson's realization that it was Ganos Lal, who was the true guardian, neutralized the dragon. However, upon returning to the Sangral, SG1 and Ball were transported to another planet via a teleportation network set up by Ganos to further protect Merlin from discovery, forcing ADRIA to mentally examine the planet's DHD to determine their location. Eventually, ADRIA and her soldiers found the planet in question, where Jackson had the memories of Merlin downloaded into his mind. ADRIA attempted to kill SG1, but Jackson gave them enough time to flee through the Stargate, leaving Daniel in ADRIA's hands. ADRIA had plans for Dr. Jackson, hoping to use the Sangral to destroy the Ancients without having to risk the Ori themselves. Having seemingly convinced Daniel of the virtues of origin, she eventually turned him into a prior, so that he would be able to complete the device and use it against the ancients. However, Daniel, with help from the consciousness of Merlin, resisted her efforts, partly helped by the fact that Adria was so determined to convert Daniel, as she saw him as her only hope of converting Earth. He nearly completed the Sangral, but allowed himself to be captured by SG1 so that they could shut down the wormhole currently blocking the Supergate. With their help, he attacked Adria and was able to send the Ori warship carrying the Sangral through the Supergate. Adria herself later confirmed that the device was successful in neutralizing the Ori. However, Adria was not destroyed by the Sangral, and she then sent another 6 Ori battle cruisers through the Supergate. With the Supergate under control, Adria encountered Vala on a planet. She falsely claimed that the Sangral failed in its attempt to destroy the Ori, and learned that Vala had fled to Earth, as SG1 believed that she was being manipulated by Adria, using the Clava Thesaura Infinitus to trap them. Adria had no knowledge of that and was in fact innocent, though. Adria and Vala traveled to the planet in question, only to find SG1 already there and waiting. And it was revealed that Vala had allowed herself to be implanted with a false memory by the Galoran memory device. However, Baal arrived and kidnapped Adria, taking her as a host, claiming he would order the Ori army to leave the Milky Way galaxy. The Toka removed Baal, but Baal managed to unleash his symbiote toxin into Adria. Dying, Adria used the time she had left to ascend. However, while Adria now possessed all the power of the Ori gained from their worshippers in both galaxies, the loss of the other Ori means that she now possessed the entirety of the power that had once been divided amongst the entire Ori race. It also meant that she could no longer take action on this plane of existence without inciting the wrath of the ancients, leaving the Ori army leaderless. After locating the Ark of Truth, Vala Maldoran, Toman, and Dr. Jackson were captured and brought to the city of Celestis. There, Adria revealed herself to Vala. She confirmed that she planned to destroy the ancients and take over both galaxies, but denied to use the Ark, saying it just wasn't as fun, and it also failed to generate the right kind of belief that she could use to draw power. Vala also described her as a spoiled brat with a god complex. She also confirmed the death of the Ori, saying she was pleased as she now possessed all their power. She was finally stopped when Daniel activated the Ark, severely diminishing her power. With her power now reduced, Morgan Le Fay engaged her in eternal battle, similar to how Oma Dosala fought Anubis, while also ending Adria's threat and influence over the Milky Way galaxy forever. As the chosen champion and leader of the Ori, Adria was extremely devoted, almost at an obsessive level, to her job of converting the Milky Way galaxy to such an extent that she even ordered an entire village to be destroyed due to the fact that its inhabitants had not chosen to embrace the teachings of the Ori. She was also completely complicit in the Ori's plans, going as far to state her belief that the ancients themselves were lying about the Ori, and even claimed that the ancients were the ones who are guilty and who are evil, not the Ori, when it is actually the Ori who are evil and the ancients are on the side of good. In addition to possessing a psychopathic nature, which was demonstrated by her ruthlessness and little to no remorse or mercy, Adria also appeared to be a sadist. She often used her telekinetic powers to strangle or choke her enemies to within a very inch of their lives without stopping, which would often result in their deaths. Prior to ascending, Adria was very loyal to the Ori and highly devoted to them, even willingly leading the armies in their quest to conquer the Milky Way galaxy. After ascending, however, Adria changed, but for the worst, as in addition to gaining new powers, she seemed to have become a malignant apparently pleased with the deaths of her Ori masters because now Adria received all of their power. Adria was given several superhuman powers, similar to the powers of priors. However, she technically is not a prior, and is between the Dosai and the Ori in status. Her power is at least on the level of a prior, although many of her abilities have yet to be revealed. Adria claims that despite the fact that she is essentially Ori, there is still a part of her that is human, which somewhat limits her powers. The prior disruptor is capable of temporarily preventing her from using her powers. Telekinesis. She can kill with the power of the mind, restrict the movements of others, manipulate objects and people at a distance, activate DHDs remotely, and activate spacecraft to pilot them. She can do all of these things while multitasking her abilities. Pyrokinesis. She has demonstrated the ability to manipulate fire. Healing touch. Her powers allow her to heal any injury that she or others might sustain, and can even revive the recently deceased. However, unlike many other evolved beings, she does not show signs of being left in a weakened state afterwards. Telepathy. She has been described as a truth seer. Only the strongest of minds can resist her abilities, yet she had to ask the Jaffa and choked him at the same time to find out where the Takara weapon was, although this maybe was a playful nature, as she does like to play games. Daniel, with the help of Merlin, was able to completely fool this ability, but even without Merlin, he proved resistant to it, to the point that ADRIA interrogated someone else instead. Genetic knowledge. She was granted a large amount of genetic knowledge, although it's limited by her human physiology. The knowledge in her mind unfolded as her body matured, causing headaches during her growth. What exact knowledge she possesses remains unknown, but it does include at least basic information such as reading and writing, knowledge of Ori religion and the ancients, and how to speak and read ancient. ADRIA is able to project energy blasts from her hands. She uses this to battle Daniel, who possessed a similar ability while sharing his body with Merlin. However, ADRIA is stronger and overpowers him easily.
Get to the gate now!
I'm not leaving you here!
I'll be right behind you!
So what did you guys think of ADRIA the ORICI? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member to support future content. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.